Hello ladies. So this is the completed color mixing grid that we attempted the other night. And it's a godsend that actually it didn't work out, because this is somewhat time consuming and we would have ate up more time and not move forward on other things. But anyway, so this is how it was supposed to be. So my error was in making all the colors all the way across and down the side, and that's where I got confused. I mean, which would be okay if I had just kept my train of thought. And basically what we wanted to do, because see, instead we write them, okay? We write the Aurelian yellow, all the colors we have on our palette. Now this can change if you decide to make up your own palette of colors down the road. You can try out several palette colors and add some on or what have you. It just means that your color grid will be bigger. So because we have 10 colors, so we're going to have 10 across, 10 down, we're going to have 100 different color combinations. Okay? So what we do then is we take the Aurelian yellow, that very first one, and we mix it with the color on top. So this will be the primary, and then these will be the mixers. So Aurelian yellow mixed with Aurelian yellow is pure pigment. That's why I put that on here on this side. Pure pigment, and it's going to end up going diagonally down. So Aurelian yellow mixed with Aurelian yellow is the pure pigment. Aurelian yellow, here, let me just get this brush here. Makes it easier. Aurelian yellow mixed with quinacridone gold gives you a beautiful, kind of a rich sort of a gold. Sorry about that drop. That was a drop of quinacridone. Anyway, Aurelian yellow mixed with cad yellow gets you an even richer yellow. Aurelian yellow mixed with a little bit of cad yellow. I think it would probably be maybe a 3-to-1 ratio. But you can play with this because it'll be your color grid. You just have to remember your proportions. You know, maybe you could put on the side of your color grid 3-to-1, 2-to-1. But remember, this is watercolor, okay? The primary word here is water. It's not acrylic. You do not mix heavy. In watercolor, we go from light to dark, okay? And that goes for pigment and color saturation as well. There'll be times where you want that and times where most times you don't. So anyway, we'll get back to here. So we've got Aurelian mixed with cad yellow deep, and that gives us this color. Alizarin crimson, look at the kind of the orange that it gets with alizarin. Now I held back a little bit on the alizarin because it's such a strong color. So it probably could have been just a little bit richer than what I got here. Because when you look at the next one, Rose Madder Genuine, you can see how soft this is, and that's very transparent as well. Rose Madder Genuine is a very light pigment, so it's going to give you a light orange. So this one here, and I'm not sure if I incorrectly named this to you ladies when we were writing them out, but it's Venetian red. I don't know if I said vermilion. I have vermilion on my other color plate, so I use that. But the Venetian is a really nice color. So mixing it with Aurelian yellow with a little bit of Venetian, then we get this lovely. And here we go here, like Aurelian yellow mixed with some Prussian blue, and you get this beautiful sappy style green. We've got Aurelian yellow mixed with Windsor blue green, and then French ultramarine. So then you continue this down the row. So your primary color now is going to be quinacridone gold. So mixing primarily quinacridone gold with some Aurelian yellow gives you this mixture, right? Primarily quinacridone gold with a little, you know, with your quinacridone, of course, is going to give you pure pigment of quinacridone gold. Then we go further with quinacridone gold, mixing a touch of cad yellow. So you can see with all the color variations how they change every time. So whenever you go your primary, which will be the more pigment, to the lesser pigment, and so on. So this aisle right here, or this line, that's going to come all the way across. It should come all the way down to that very last square there. What happened here is I was really good, but then what happened was I screwed up Of course, this was our Prussian, which was what we had in our order. But when I was mixing up, I had all my mixes ready in my palette, and I realized when I got to here, wait a minute, that's not Prussian, that's French ultramarine. So I had to switch them out, and hence we have this here. So don't try this at home, folks. Keep it the way we had it, and you'll have this beautiful pure pigment line all the way down. So that's how it should read. And the reason why that got mixed up for me is because what I did to make this a quicker process was, this one here is the last one, which was Prussian. I made 10 dabs of watered down Prussian. Okay, I made 10 paint spots, like ready, pigment mixed with water. I don't know what you call it. And then I went down and I added Aurelian, and then the quinacridone and the CAD, and that's what the results are for each one of these. So rather than, keep going back to the palette for every time, I just continued on here. I found that doing it like an assembly line sort of thing made the process a little bit quicker, but also too in the end I kind of got a little mixed up. So, I guess when it comes to the blues or whatever your colors, if they're similar, we want to pay attention. So anyway, all in all, looks very nice. I will always have a color reference. Say you're looking for a particular color, for beach sand or something like that, and you go, oh, that there, okay, what colors does that take? Aurelian yellow with a little alizarin crimson. So the possibilities with doing mixing color grids, I find the grids a lot easier than the color mixing circles. The circles can tend to be a little bit confusing, especially when you, if you're used to color wheels, with doing our color wheels, which I'll talk about, because the way the color wheels are constructed is in tint tones and shades of the same color. So that's where that could get very confusing. So doing the color mixing grids is far easier and far better for checking your color controls, okay? So I hope that helps, and I'll figure out how I can get this uploaded for you so that it's clear. So any questions, through the next week and a half until we meet again, don't hesitate to email me or text me on Facebook, on Scrum Sisters, wherever. Okay, have a great day, ladies.